finished the repeat round of 13, and I am going to finish off here. So what I'm doing is I chained my last 2, and I'm going to go into my last 1, 2, and 3rd chain up and slip stitch. And then I'm just going to cut my yarn. You do not have to cut your yarn. I am cutting my yarn because I have to change my yarn color because I actually ran out of this color green. So I used 2.5 skeins of yarn. And the first bag I used, the brown bag, I used... because I doubled my yarn, I used just a little bit under 2 pounds of yarn, and it's actually quite bigger than this one is. I'm not sure, like everything on this yarn because I didn't have any packaging. I actually had gotten it off somebody, so I was just trying to use up yarn that I had in my stash that I had more than one color of because I didn't really want to go out and buy 2 more pounds of yarn to make another bag, and plus I have a lot of yarn. But you can never have enough yarn. So anyways, finishing that, I'm just gonna show you that here's the bottom of the bag, and I know it's kind of hard, my stitch marker's still in the bag. It's kind of hard to see everything, so let me just see if we can, here, what if we did this? Okay, you can almost see it. So, you can see that right here is, my repeat rounds of, 12 and 13, I believe is, no, it's 11 and 12, and then this is 13 and 14. So, I'm sorry, here, I finished off on round 12 up here. Okay. So these are repeats of rounds 11 and 12, these rows right here. And then these are repeats of rounds 13 and 14. I'm pretty sure that's right. If I'm not, I'm so sorry. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 repeats of rounds 11 and 12. And then I did 1, 2, 3, 4 repeats of 13 and 14. I started with rounds 11 and 12 and ended with rounds 11 and 12. You could do more rounds or less rounds, whatever you want to do. So that is the repeat that I did. Now, so I cut my yarn because I'm going to be putting another yarn on because I ran out of my first color yarn. And you can also do this too if you want. It doesn't really matter. I would just not recommend using like variegated yarn because I don't think it will work up good with this. I mean, it might, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. So now we are going to just do 4 rounds of single crochet in each stitch. So I'm just going to show you, so there's 2 stitches in here, 1 in here, 2, you did 2 chain spaces, so we're going to be putting 1 single crochet in each of those chain spaces, and yeah, we'll end up with like a couple more stitches than what we started out with, and that's okay, it's not really a big deal. It's not going to change the strap or anything, it's just a different count, like you just needed the 120 for the flowers. I'm not too worried about it. I mean, if you are, you can decrease or do whatever you need to do to get that count if you want it at 120, but I don't think that it makes any difference. So, what am I doing here? Okay. I'm trying to cover up this yarn, but I don't know. There we go. So this is a little bit thicker than this yarn, so it might have been a 3-ply, not a 4. But the first bag I did was medium 4 and 2-stranded, and I used almost 2 pounds. So we are just going to put one single crochet in each stitch around, and that's it. So there's 2 stitches in between each thing, and you'll be putting one single crochet in each of those. So like this, there's extras in there. You can crochet into them, you don't have to. The extras are from when we did like a slip stitch, but I didn't in the first bag, and I'm not going to in this bag either. So just keep going around, putting one single crochet in each stitch, and when you get back to here, you're going to slip stitch into the first one, chain 1, and do this for 3 more rounds. So I'll meet you back here just to show you what I do and send you on your way. So I am at the end here, and I ended up having 120 stitches. And the reason why I said you might not have 120, you might have more, is because in my first bag I ended up with 123. But I didn't decrease or anything, so I just kept that number because I wasn't really worried about it being off by a couple stitches. So I ended with my 2 stitches, and now I'm doing is slip stitching here, chaining 1, and now I'm just going to go in and crochet each stitch all the way around, and then slip stitch back into this first stitch over here. And I'm going to do this, we're going to have a total of 4 single crochet rounds all the way around. So I'll meet you back here when I have the rest of the rounds done, and I will show you how to start with a strap. Finished round 4 of the single crochet rows, and now you are going to, oops, sorry about that, snip your yarn. You're going to weave this end in, and you're going to, this part might be hard to see, hold on, let me see if I can do this. Okay, so you're going to fold your bag like this. So you're going to have one side this side, and then you're going to have the other side, which is the side that, oh sorry, there's sawdust. I had to film next to the saw. Sorry about that. So this is your back side. Doesn't matter. What does matter is the way you put your strap. If you put your strap like this, it'll look weird when you hold your bag. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half. So this is potentially like how our bag's going to look. So here's the 2 ends. Let me just see if I can raise it up. There we go. So here is the 2 ends. And here is the part that we started and stop started. Oh, here's another great angle. You can see that why I'm calling it the twisted hibiscus, because it looks like it's twisting along itself. Okay, so now that we're going to weave this in, I'm going to weave it in later. You can weave it in later, whatever. So we have it folded. What we're going to do is this, we're going to take one end, the strap's going to come from this end to this end, and it's going to be an overhead strap over the shoulder, whatever. So it's going to be like kind of like how when you were in school and you used like those computer bag strapped looking backpack things. That's what it's going to resemble. So we have the bag folded, and you can go from either side. But what we're going to do is we're going to count this as 1. This top one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, or you can do it this way and skip this and count these as 2. And we're going to take our stitch markers or yarn scraps, whatever you have. I can find it. There it is. You're going to need 2 because you're going to mark. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, and 16. So we're going to put one here. Oh, and I lost my other one. It's okay. I'll just count it real quick again. Actually, I'm going to do 18. Pretty sure I did 18. Yeah, I did 18, not 16. Sorry about that. Let me just count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and this is 18. So we count 18 stitches. So this will be one strap part here, and we're going to go to the other side of the bag. And we're going to do the same thing, making sure that we have 18 stitches marked. Let me just grab my other 2 stitch markers. Three, 4, 5, 6. So we're just counting 18 down this side too. So 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And I think I just said 16, but we're doing 18. I don't know why I have 16 on the brain, but I do. It's 18 that we need to count all together. Let me just make sure I have 18 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And I don't know if I'm going to even be able to fit this little stitch marker in there. I actually made this one. I might be able to fit it into one loop, which is okay. Let me see. Oh, nope, it fits into 2. Yeah, isn't this just cute? We made this one. Sorry about that. Alright, so now that we've got them marked, oh, it'd be better if it wasn't zoomed in. Okay. Now that we have them marked, we have both the sides of the bag marked for the strap. We're going to pick either side to start on. And what we're going to do is a standing single crochet. We're going to start on one side, and we're going to do a standing single crochet. So we're going to go in where that stitch marker is, and we're going to have the yarn already on our hook. Going to go into that stitch, pull up a loop, and then pull through 2. And this is what a standing single crochet looks like, but I'm actually going to try and hide my ends in so I have less work to do. So I'm going to bring this part around like that and crochet over them. So I have my first single crochet. I'm going to single crochet from one end to this end. So we have 1. We'll just make sure that we have our count right. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain up 1, and we are going to decrease 2 together here and 2 together here. So we're going to go into this first one actually. Don't complete the crochet, go into the second and crochet them all together. So we're going to have 1, and we're going to go to the end and we're going to decrease 2 here, and I'll meet you back when we have the last 2 stitches remaining. So I'm to my last 2, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to do like I'm going to single crochet, don't pull through, and I'm going to go into this last stitch here and pull up a loop. I'm getting caught on something. Oh. Whoa, does not want to work for me, does it? Okay, let's try this one more time. Okay, so pull through all of them. So you should have 16 stitches. We went from 18 to 16. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain up 1. We're going to turn, and we're going to decrease the first 2 and the last 2 together. We're going to keep decreasing the stitches until we have 8 left. So I'm going to keep decreasing my stitches with stitching the first 2 and the last 2 together until I have 8 remaining, and I will meet you back here. Okay, I have decreased until I had 8 stitches remaining. So I chained 1 and I turned, and now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to skip the first one because that chain 1 counts as 1, and I'm just going to crochet into 8 stitches back and forth until I have my strap as long as I want it. And then I will meet you back here because we have to increase back up to 18 stitches and cut and bind off and attach it to the other side of the bag. So I will meet you back here when I have the length for my strap. It doesn't matter how long, how short you do it. I am doing it so it's the length to fit over top of my head, to wear over like my head and onto my shoulder type of deal, and I will let you know how many rows I ended up doing when I come back. So I'll meet you back here when I'm ready to increase and stitch to the other side of the bag.